It's weird. If I just so happen to have an OG on here, then you will know that like I originally started this channel in like 2016. And I had like maybe 8 videos up. It only had like 1,000 views on it, maybe like 500 to 1,000 views on it. And I just deleted them. And then I tried again, deleted those. And so now we're here, 7 years later. Well, I'm gonna do a story time. And I feel like the best way to tell a story time is by telling the story that brought me here, which was my paranormal experiences as a child. So to start off, I immediately was a believer in spirits just because I dealt with it from the moment I was born. I guess when I was a baby, I used to always scream about the man that was covered in bugs. And there was another man I used to see, but I don't know. I don't remember that part. But I used to apparently see dead bugs all the time, and it was like little stuff like that. And so over time, it just got worse and worse and worse. And so fast forward to, let me break it down. I had a demon. And it was one of those things where it was like, I was just constantly getting tormented and I didn't really understand why. But let me just break down the experiences. Let me not do the whole story time. Let me just tell you the experiences. And I will never forget this story. Really did traumatize me for a really long time. So boom, I had my own room at this point. I was probably like 10 maybe, and I had my own room. And where we was living, I had like a back porch, like, but it was like where the washing machine room and everything was. So I had a huge window, and outside was like the washing machine room and like storage and like stuff like that. So it wouldn't be like sunlight coming through the room. It would just be whatever light is in the back room is the light that will come into my room. So of course when it's night, it's just dark. So anyways, this used to happen actually pretty frequent, but this time it was very OD and I never had anything like this. And this never happened again. One day I woke up in the middle of my sleep. It was, you know, the usual cliche 3 in the morning. And I was hearing like, so we had these neighbors and he was like the neighbor friend and he had this very particular voice. Anyways, so he had this very particular voice. But anyway, so I woke up and I was basically hearing like, it sounded like his voice, but it was like distorted with like a pig. And he was like borderline screaming, freaking out. Like it was the most horrific grunts, growls, and screams I've ever heard. Cause it was like, it wasn't English. It was just like tongue. And it was so loud. And as I'm hearing this, it sounds like the washing machine and the dryer and everything in that back room was just getting tossed around. Like it sounded like it was just getting tossed all around. Like it was loud banging, crashing, screaming. And so I'm freaking out. But when I get scared, well at the time, when I got scared, I would freeze. So I'm sitting there in my bed, I'm like, what do I do? Do I do the traditional, like I'm gonna hide under my blanket, or do I make a break for it? So by the end of the whole screaming and all that, by the time it stopped, I looked at the window and there was a man with a top hat and red eyes, and it was like the blinds were peeled open, and he's just staring at me through the window. Like through the window, he's staring at me. And I was like, oh, that's it. And so I was like, I have to just go. I have to just leave the room now. So y'all, why did I get up? and I'm like, my knees buckling, shaking, sweat. I get up. I finally get the courage to finally get on my 2 feet. And the moment I start to, you know, get my body ready to move, I hear boo in my ear. I crumbled to the ground. I fell to the ground. Miraculously, I got right back up and I started to run. And as I started to run out, and I was gonna run to my mom's room, the way the room was set up, as soon as I leave my room, I could see the front door. So it's like I have to cut this corner and then cut another corner, and there's her room right there. But when I leave my room, the first door I see is the front door. Leave my room. I see a tall figure at the door looking in my direction. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? So I'm like, okay, keep running. And so I run to, as I'm making my way to her room, this nigga is sprinting towards me. And he's just booking it. And so I'm like, I start begging on my mom's door, like, let me in, let me in, let me in. And so she was like, go to your own room, sleep it off. So, and it was very traumatizing. I didn't get over it for a good couple years. And there's a lot of many experiences that I had in that house, here, and just in general. But I'm gonna just keep it at this one story. Like, I feel like out of all of the experiences I had in the house, that was the one that really stuck. Like, I was like, that was too much. You know, was this interesting? Was this engaging? Do y'all give a fuck about the story, or was this really lame as fuck in real life? If the video do good, if the video like it get past like 100 views, then like I'm gonna post another one.